Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So, Grand Cathay are up for pre-order, something a lot of us thought would never ever happen. And so let's talk about the Grand Cathay and potentially what could be coming in the future. So yes, I'm going to be making a video on the Grand Cathay, which is this, and I was originally going to be making a video regarding the rules and but obviously due to the leaks that come out, but all of the influencers have pretty much released their videos now, so you can get better photos and better pictures and all of that from them. So there's no real point of me doing it, and plus the Honest Wargamer has already done a massive in-depth video on the Arcane Journal anyway, so it's pretty pointless me doing one right now. So we're just going to be talking about something else. Now obviously there is a little bit of excitement in the community about the Arcane Journal. It is pretty strong. And yeah, so I'm not an influencer, I didn't get one, but if you do want to help me become an influencer for Warhammer, then you need to hit that subscribe button. So the bigger my channel gets, the more likely it is for me to become a Warhammer influencer, and that would be amazing. And then I'll get sent this free stuff, and I can give you no BS, absolute reviews on what they're sending me, because I'll always be honest with you guys. You know, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad, and I will tell you as such. And that is how that will work. So smash the button. So back onto the topic. So Grand Cathay. Yeah, there's been a fair bit of talk over the past couple of days about how good the army is. It definitely has weaknesses. There are elements in the army that are good. There are some bonkers things. Some things are not as good as we expected them to be. But all in all, it is a pretty interesting army. I'm loving the yin-yang element of it. Mao Ying, the dragon herself, is pretty cool. Although I'm not 100% sold on her anyway, but then for myself as a Cathay fan from the Total War games, I always like playing the Jade Dragon rather than Mao Ying anyway, because I find he is a better, cooler character. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to him being released, but we're going to be talking about the future of Cathay very shortly. So yeah, there's a couple of busted elements in there. The Spirit Longma is obviously the character on the Spirit Longma. The ability to have a level 4 wizard for less than 300 points is pretty nuts. Especially when you sort of like start adding in the magical items and things like that, you can make some pretty interesting characters on that. Now, I will say that there is a rumor currently going around that when the FAQ comes out, that apparently it's going to limit you to one level 4 wizard in your whole army. So that would be kind of, you know, you could do that, but we'll see how that pans out as it comes in. But all in all, the army is looking pretty interesting. And I'm pretty excited about it. Obviously, I've gone out and pre-ordered the battalion and the Arcane Journal, so I will be doing a Cathay army in the next couple of weeks, which I'm super excited about. And it's going to be my main army for Warhammer, the Old World. Now, let's talk about what we could potentially see in the future for the Cathay, because if you play Total War, and you've played the Cathay army, you will notice that there is a large element of this army not currently available, and that is the peasant aspect of the army. The peasant spearmen, the peasant bowmen, the peasant cavalry. There's a lot of the ranged units, like the little dudes behind the shields with the fire cannons are not there. The fire cannon on the lantern is not there. So there's a lot of elements in the army that isn't on the tabletop right now. And I think what people forget when they bring this up as a sort of negative is that they're forgetting about the setting in which the army is being introduced. This army that we've got for the Cathay is based entirely on the expeditionary force sent to the Old World with Mao Ying to combat chaos. That's basically what this is. This isn't an army that is running around the Grand Bastion beating up chaos and ogres. This is an army that is very much being sent to the Old World to combat chaos. So yeah, that's the reason why the peasant element isn't in the army. Now, I do think that over the course of the years to come, we will then start seeing these coming. I do think we will see the other two dragons, possibly more, come to the army. I do think we'll see the peasant aspect of the army. I do think we'll start seeing the other units coming in. I definitely think we'll see the Longmer cavalry unit come to the army as well at some stage in the future, because we have a character that can essentially join them. So I think that will happen. And I think we'll end up getting the ranged aspect of the army. At the moment, we've only really got the cannons and the bombs from the lanterns and stuff, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people have put this down as a negative, but when you look at like the Warriors of Chaos, they very rarely have any ranged abilities, and they do perfectly fine. Beastmen have very few ranged abilities, and they do perfectly fine as well. You don't need a ranged element to the army to be able to run it. In fact, you can do very much the opposite of that. So, you know, Bretonnians, Bretonnians are got peasant bowmen. They're not exactly amazing, and they seem to manage just fine. So yeah, I do think in the future we're going to get the peasants with the peasant bowmen and the peasant cavalry, and I do think we'll start seeing a lot of the other units from the Total War 3 roster into it. So this is going to be exciting, exciting times. I'm also interested to see what happens with the old world in the next 18 months. Is it going to get a third edition or a second edition? And if it does, how radically will the game change in regards to how it currently is? And will they eventually bring Kislev? I do think they'll eventually bring Kislev, personally. I do think that's going to happen. They've already worked on them. They've shown renders and artwork and stuff, so it's an army that they clearly want to, and they kind of need to do, because they're kind of important for the first war against Chaos with Azavar Kull. Kislev kind of is needed for that, so I do think we're going to get them at some point in the future. But I think now that all of the major armies are out and Cathay are now being introduced, that we will see Kislev in the future. I would not be surprised if Kislev aren't the big launch for second edition, which will probably be coming in 18 months. But for the next 18 months, what are we going to expect? Well, by the end of this year, all of the Cathay stuff should be out. And then for the next year alone, which is basically next year, we're probably going to start seeing some other arcane journals and stuff coming out. They've already hinted that all of the other armies are going to get other arcane journals, and I think some of these armies are going to start getting updated units on new units and rosters, which kind of be cool. And I think that's when we could potentially see some more Cathay being introduced as well, which is super exciting. So yeah, I'm currently plotting and planning my colour scheme for my Cathay. Super excited. I really can't wait to get my hands on them. I'm thinking maybe a jade and orange colour scheme, but I'm going to have a little think about that. But yeah, all in all, Cathay are coming, and they will definitely be coming to the channel. So if you're excited about that as much as I am, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment and all of that good stuff, and we'll continue growing the channel and continue making videos and enjoying it and in just nerding out together. And obviously if you want to join the Discord, you can, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye for now.